It's not what you think it is. That is good to remember. So let's recap. Thus far in my You've Been Eckhart Tolle series, through Eckhart Tolle's quotes, we've brought in being with its pales, present moment, and consciousness. And now it's time to bring in the main contender, the heavyweight, the big boss, the never-ending messenger, the one who knows everything, the one who is full of it, the one who never shuts the F up. It's the one. It's the only. Drum roll, please. It's your ego. Yes, ladies and gents, welcome to episode 3. A quick tip before we jump into this video. Try to grasp the value in taking a step back and investigating becoming better acquainted with self. This is not an opportunity for judgment, but for understanding. That's why I got into all of this. I wanted to make better sense of it all. For when we better understand, we're aware. And that's the goal. Okay, back to it. This video is dedicated to that sneaky voice. You know, the one you were asking about in the last video. The one throwing you those thought bombs that spiral you into oblivion. This video is all about the ego. Why, yes, ego, we are talking about you. Does that feel good? Probably not, because the ego rarely feels good. But you know what does feel good? Knowing that despite all of the scrolling and clicking options out there, you decided to pick this video. Hi there. Thank you for showing up. I'm Monica, and knowing that your ego could have steered you in any direction, you decided to stop here for a reason. So thank you. I appreciate that you, and yes, your ego, stopped here to hang with me.
I won't let go. I fell in love with a dancer. Blowing all this cake, ooh, it's your birthday, girl. I like that girl.
Ego. The ego, it likes to tell us who we are. That chatterbox, it's so convincing. But we don't have to believe it. Unless you are under firm awareness, it will reel you in pretty much every time. If you've been following this series, some of the content may sound redundant from the first 2 episodes. A lot of what's mentioned in this episode was also mentioned in the other episodes because it's all connected. Eckhart Tolle's teachings guide us in being aware of self. Have you noticed? Now you might be saying to yourself, yeah, I know someone with an ego, all right. And to that I say, you're totally dead on. You do. Because everybody has an ego. Even you. It doesn't make you a bad person or a good person. It just makes you a person. Maybe some egos are bigger than others. But it's not the size that matters.
Wow.
It's how you contain it. Through Mr. Tolle's words, I like to help you better identify, with no judgment of course, when your ego has come for a visit. So let's not waste any more time. Grab your glass of water because you're going to need that. Let's rip open the safety seal on this one and indulge in your dose of ego quotes. The moment you become aware of the ego in you, it is strictly speaking no longer the ego, but just an old conditioned mind pattern. Ego implies unawareness. Awareness and ego cannot coexist. Okay, awareness and ego cannot coexist. In his teachings, Eckhart Tolle says that the unobserved mind is the ego. I'm going to say that again. The unobserved mind. the unaware mind, the unconscious mind. Remember consciousness? The mind that is not paying attention to the mind being the mind is the ego. So now it has a name. Those sometimes unhelpful, demeaning thoughts have the rightful creator. You can thank your ego, or don't. Ego is the one who, when things are just chill, may want to come up and rile things up a bit. All of a sudden, thoughts arise because your mind is ready for a story, a little excitement. Sneaky, right? I am Eckhart Tolle you. The ego needs to be in conflict with something or someone. That explains why you are looking for peace and joy and love, but cannot tolerate them for very long. You say you want happiness, but are addicted to your unhappiness. Your unhappiness ultimately arises not from the circumstances of your life, but from the conditioning of your mind. Eckhart explains in other teachings that the ego is basically telling us what our life is, or as everyone likes to put it, reality. And we fall for it every time. Who doesn't want a little conflict in their life? Am I right? So what do we do about this ego character? Being aware or conscious of your thoughts allows you to identify when the ego has taken over. From there, those intrusive thoughts making you feel like garbage can be squashed. Remember, once you identify the ego, it is no longer the ego, but an old conditioned mind pattern. From there, you have the option to incorporate new thoughts, new conditioned mind patterns. You've been Eckhart Tolle. So the ego likes conflict, but you don't. Want to know how you can eliminate that conflict? Well, here's one thing you can do according to Eckhart. You can eliminate most conflict from your life simply by refraining from telling people how someone wronged you or how they failed. If you choose not to participate in the ego's dramatic stories, it will lose its power over you. Classic ego, supreme drama queen. No judgment on your part, of course. You are minding your own business, and then ego stops in for a visit and reminds you of that person that wronged you 5 minutes, 5 days ago, 5 years ago, or better yet, 25 years ago. Ego says, hey, why do you always get the short end of the stick? Why does nothing ever work out for you? And why aren't people making you happier? Ego is the one not making you happier, not necessarily the people. Do you want to know why? The stronger the ego in you, the more likely it is that in your perception, other people are the main source of problems in your life. Now that is not a jab at you, although ego might make you think it is. The stronger the ego, the more likely you may be to wait for everyone else to come around and admit their faults or pay tribute. And while you wait, you will sit and be miserable, building the strength of that ego. It feeds off your discontentment, you know. The more you have, the more you get. I am Eckhart Tolle you. If you are content with being nobody in particular, content not to stand out, you align yourself with the power of the universe. What looks like weakness to the ego is in fact the only true strength. Alignment with the universe? Speaking my language, yes please. Weakness, or in other words, not being the top dog or the most popular. So is Eckhart saying that we don't need to be the most attractive or the funniest or even the smartest? We can just be? Is this teacher suggesting when we just be who we are without judgment, but with awareness, of course, we align with the universe? And is he also saying that when we align with the universe, we are at our strongest against the negative self-talk from the ego? Is he saying all that? Maybe. The ego needs to play the lead role. That's how it thrives. But you are not benefiting from this mind traveler. It's time for you to become aware in the moment of the thoughts your mind is subconsciously delivering. Eckhart tells us, "One day I will be free of the ego who is talking, the ego. To become free of the ego is not really a big job, but a very small one. All you need to do is be aware of your thoughts and emotions as they happen. This is not really a doing, but a seeing. In that sense, it is true that there is nothing you can do to become free of the ego. When the shift happens, which is the shift from thinking to awareness, an intelligence far greater than the ego's cleverness begins to operate in your life." You don't become free of the ego, Eckhart says. You become aware. You become conscious, and that is when you conquer it. You've been Eckhart Tolle. The decision to make the present moment your friend is the end of the ego. There's that talk again about the present moment, being in the present moment and making it our friend. Being okay with the present moment and what's in it. Which, in the present moment, can be negative emotion or hardship, challenges. Not only being okay with it, but being friends with it. That can be tough, but we got this. So next time when you're just hanging out and ego pops in, become aware. Identify the thoughts as ego. Understand that ego may be looking to spice things up, but you're not looking for spicy. You are looking to become friends with the present moment. And in this present moment, you are okay. You will be okay. And so, the deactivation of the ego, the elimination of inner conflict, drama no mas. Remember the quote at the beginning? Anytime you have hurt feelings, it is always your ego. Hurt feelings, conflict, and drama. Eckhart's teachings of the ego help us identify its presence. We want to feel good, and when the ego is in the driver's seat, we could be headed for slippery slopes and turbulence. Become aware of the voice of the ego. Whenever you feel less, the presence of the ego is abound, and always know that you are way more than what it's telling you. Now, unlike the games of your ego, I'm here for you. I am here to assist you in appreciating your living experience, but I need your help. If you haven't already, smash, hit, tickle that subscribe button. You know you wanna. Better yet, slide over to the notification bell. Tap that. Don't leave it up to fate, because that's not a real thing. And if you enjoyed the content brought to you here today, make sure you communicate that with a quick thumbs up. I need to know what you like. How do I know what you like if you don't tell me? And let me a little know. It's called a comment. Do that. Okay. We're 3 episodes in this You've Been Told Eckhart series. And I'm wondering, are you ready for the pop quiz? You ready for the pop quiz? Just kidding. Life's gonna do that for you, not me. But you got this. And until next time, see you later. I'll see you next time. You're gonna be here next time, right? Promise? Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you later. Bye.